Hi, I'm Eric. I found my phone and welcome to another video. Today we are getting into the album Body Talk by the legendary Robyn. This will be my first reaction to a Robyn album, but I think we should start with what I've been told is the most iconic, which is Body Talk. It features the legendary song that I'm well aware of already, Dancing on My Own, as well as Call Your Girlfriend, which is the only other song I think on this album that I know. So I'm excited to get into an album that has multiple pop perfection hits already, but let's see exactly how much of the album is certified banger town. Thank you for requesting this video, and anyway, let's just get into it. Number 1, Dancing on My Own and the radio edit. A song we know and a song we love. Let's hear it as we get into this project. These synths. It's like Run Away With Me. It just is amazing. I keep dancing on my own. Right over here. Why can't you see me? Oh, I keep dancing on my own. I love the muffled backup vocals. I was dancing on my own, and what a way to start the project with a song that's just iconic and pop perfection, and just a lovely way to get us into Robyn tonight. The song is about her pining over a love interest. I'm not sure if it was a past love interest that's moved on with someone new or just someone that she would love to make a love interest, but he is not even concerned with her. He can't even see her in the car, and she's just dancing on her own without a lover to join her. Just like every other queer man on the internet, I love the song. It's a good song, and so I don't think there's any more words that are necessary in this. It was very well done. Track number 2 is Fembot. Oh, we stripped it back a little bit. Fembots have feelings too. All right. Okay. Work that synth. Is she like low-key rapping? Well, I just kind of feel like 360 from Charlie. Fembots have feelings too. Ready for demolition. She's gonna blow up. Ring the alarma. When's she gonna attack? You never gone back? Okay, this part just makes me wanna groove and dance. A lot of moaning, girl. That was Fembot, and that was fun. It felt very, like, daytime. I don't know why I feel that way. I feel like Dancing on My Own fully put me into the picture of a night out, but Fembot just feels, I don't know, like waking up in a liminal space where, like, there's white all around you, kind of similar to the cover. This feels much more like the album cover than the Dancing on My Own. The song is saying, hey, you broke my heart in two, and I don't like that, and I'm gonna fight back. I am a fembot, and I have feelings, and once I attack, you're never going back. So I thought this was fun. It kind of reminded me of 360 in the discussions of Charlie XCX being a rapper, which you can have your opinion on it, but it felt like this was a very similar delivery where she is mainly speaking in this song much more than on Dancing on My Own, where she is much more singing. I thought it was fun. It was a little quirky, a little experimental. Definitely not a song that I had heard, but I guess, you know, when you are making great classic pop songs, you're allowed to also be a little bit experimental, and I think it's fun that she is here. And yeah, I just overall had a good time with it. I could see myself playing this one again. Number 3 is Don't You Tell Me What to Do. All right, Robyn. My drinking's killing me. Oh. Oh, we're gonna just repeat that. Okay, we are talking about our vices. My label's killing me. Oh, who am I if I'm not exploited? My back is killing me. Girl, same. Oh, say that title. Yeah. So that was Don't Tell Me What to Do. And that was definitely, I'm just very reminded of Brat. I also just finished creating a presentation for Brat that I have to give for a job interview later this week. So it's on the brain. But the talking just very bluntly about what's going on. Your label's killing you. Your substance use is killing you. Your people and your relationships are killing you. The stress of being a person in the industry, your tour, your flight, all of that stuff is killing you. And then her having the refrain of don't tell me what to do, saying that she's over it. She is trying to get out of this rut that she is in. I thought it was also interesting. I could tell if there was splicing in the is killing me part, that part was being repeated and that she would kind of fill in the blank ahead of time, but it was still the same recording of it is killing me. It's killing me. So I thought that was cool to see her work some of this club, this kind of dance experimentation into this. This feels like a track that is definitely not meant to be a single. For the fact that it's mainly just not meant to be a single. It really just feels like a statement, but not necessarily the song that you want just being the only thing people know you for by any means. I think Dancing on My Own is definitely a much more clear standard single for her over this. However, I think it shows a little bit about who Robyn is and how she's feeling. I feel like it shows her from being honest. I can see why Charli XCX would derive inspiration from her. And yeah, I think it kind of sets us up to kind of know a little bit more of the lore of where Robyn is at in this point of her life. And it makes me interested more in seeing what's going on. I think I would listen to it more if it was mainly the end part. I thought it was a good groove with the don't effing tell me what to do. I think that was just fun and I could see myself diving into that. However, I don't deal with so many of the same issues that Robyn is dealing with here. There's not too many things in my life that feel like they're killing me. So I don't see myself returning to this for that support. I think the don't tell me what to do part, I can feel that more often. And so I like that part of the song a little bit more. But I think I'm not going to ask her to change it because she just asked us to don't tell her what to do. So I'm not telling you what to do, Robyn. I'm just going to tell you what I will do with this song. Track number 4 is Indestructible. Going backwards through time. Is that the reason why I feel so techno 80s vibes? Ooh, I like that. Ooh, I like that clap sound too. Oh, there's some good production in this. I let the good ones go. Wait, has Charli just been referencing Robyn this whole time? Alright, I'm listening. 4 to the floor and that break. Oh, I love that. I'm gonna love you like I've never been hurt before. Like she's indestructible. Ooh. I can't tell for a second if that was a string or a synth. That was Indestructible, and she is singing about how she's going to try to leave the past in the past. Even though she's let bad ones in before and she's let good ones go, she's going to act like she hasn't been hurt and try to love as true and innocently and honestly as possible. And think that she's never going to get hurt again. When we know that it's possible to get hurt again repeatedly in relationships or post-relationships. And I think it shows a willing optimism, a sense of radical optimism to just go into a new thing, just hoping and expecting the best possibility. And I commend her for that. I felt like the song production-wise, it was very fun. It reminded me a lot of European pop traditions. I mean, she is from Sweden, so it makes sense. But this feels like a song that could have been at Eurovision at some point. It just feels like that energy. I do enjoy it. I could definitely see myself listening to it. I'm a very optimistic person myself, so I like to see a fellow optimist in lyrics. And it was a fun song. I definitely could see myself dancing to this. I could see this song at the club. I could see most of these songs at some sort of club. They might not be all the biggest crowd pleasers, or they might be different vibes or more common than others. But so far, I have really wanted to get up and dance. And I definitely see myself doing that once I've gone through the whole album and I've turned the camera off. Track number 5 is Time Machine. Ooh, this feels a little more suspenseful. Hey. Oh, this bass is bumping. Bumping that, bumping that, bumping that, bumping that. I said the words so that they would hurt. Ooh. was just taking it back, but she needs a time machine. I love that. It was Haze. And this part too. I like the synthetic voice. So that was Time Machine, and another song that I feel just fits into the production of like Indestructible, where it could be a Eurovision song. It feels also very recession pop, the early 2010s, probably a trailblazer for the 2010s, but has a lot of the vibes of 2000. It feels a little bit like MDNA from Madonna. It feels like they are channeling similar energies, and they were made within, I think, a year or so of each other, so it makes sense. This definitely gives this sense of nostalgia, but also I think her production, with how unique certain elements of it are, the distinctness of the haze and some of the trippiness and some interesting percussion, I think keeps it something that has aged better and something that still feels fresh in 2024. Some elements more than others, of course, but I think it shows a little more personality in the song rather than some other pop songs that might have been like, oh, I don't know who's making it. I think having those extra elements make it feel special and not just, oh, you lended a voice to what some producer was doing. This song is about trying to take something back, to apologize, to rewind in time to when you didn't say those things, you didn't do those actions that you regret. That's what she's facing. All she needs is a time machine so that she can take it back. I don't know what she did in particular. I think she said things that she didn't mean, but I don't think we get too deep into the song. I think something about pop is that generally in this time period of making pop, most of the songs are not super specific so that they're more universal. Whereas I think today we have a lot more specificity in our lyrics. And I think there are songs that have that here, but I think something about the lyrics being vague also allows for something being relatable and universal. Besides track 3 with Don't Tell Me What to Do, I feel like I don't necessarily know too much about what's going on in Robyn's life. And I think pop stars can either choose to be someone who continues being mysterious or an artist who is much more specific and showing you a lot of what's going on in their life. And I don't know if that's just a trend in this album or across Robyn's discography. I didn't grow up with Robyn, so I don't know her as well. I think it's an interesting observation to make about how specific and relatable and how much you let your audience into your life. And I think she's trying to balance that. Track number 6, Love Kills. Oh, we are in it. Don't go messing with love because it's fatal. Protect yourself before you wreck yourself. That was a high school mantra of mine. I guess it was check yourself before you wreck yourself, but same difference. Yeah, check yourself. There we go. Full circle. Oh, something about her delivery right here kind of feels like a deal with God from Kate Bush. Also known as Running Up That Hill. Oh my god, not a Swedish star saying Stockholm Syndrome. I didn't know I needed to hear that. Ooh, we're blending some of the verses and choruses. I'm not actually sure where one starts and the other ends. So that was Love Kills, and definitely was a very repetitive song, but in an interesting way where you kind of didn't know how long the song was going for. You weren't sure whether you were in verses or chorus. Kind of reminded me of Back to Back from Charlie XCX, where that chorus really is there for the longest time and is the main focal point of the song. And I like how she merges some of the parts that were kind of verse-like in the outro of the song, how she kind of cuts herself off and says, because you know that love kills. This song is about protecting yourself before you wreck yourself. You got to check yourself before you wreck yourself. And you have to just have a heart of steel and make sure you approach with caution until the one kind soul reveals itself to you. I feel like I just quoted over 80% of the song. It is, again, a very repetitive song, but I think it's cool because we don't have to do a standard pop song structure of having verse, chorus, verse, chorus. I think you can have songs structured however you feel like it works for the song. And I think the song is over and over again telling you a warning. It's trying to help you help yourself by being a little bit more cautious, which is not very optimistic, not very indestructible of you. But yeah, I think it was a good song. I could see myself listening to this again, especially if I need to be told to avoid the trials and tribulations of finding a one true love. I bet she is going to not heed her own warning because track number 7 is called Hang With Me. She already got a good bass line always. Ooh, I like how it exploded there. We'll get some deeper chaps if you hang with me. That was Hang With Me, and that kind of reminded me of Your Type from Carly Rae Jepsen's iconic album, Emotion. Love that album. I've talked about this on this channel before, but absolutely love her. And this song kind of feels like that in that he's calling her a friend, but it seems like they might get closer. And she's warning him, again, kind of like in Love Kills, that you shouldn't fall recklessly, headlessly in love with me. It's going to be very blissful, but also very painful at the same time. It'll be an explosion of emotions. And maybe that could be good, but it also could be rough. So she is trying to figure out whether they should hang with each other. I don't think it's clear. I think it's a will they, won't they type thing. Will they just hang as friends? Will they hang out at all? Will they hang out as lovers? Who knows? But yeah, it seems like it's a lot to deal with. And I think in the way of a pop song kind of being dramatic about the explosion, of course, your heart won't actually literally explode if you hang with someone. Hopefully not. Get some medical attention if that is something you are deeply concerned about. But I think this delivery allows for the expression and the emotion really behind this song and this sentiment. So yeah, I think I enjoyed it. I like the way that Your Type kind of does it a bit more, but I could see myself liking this. I think I don't like heeding warnings when it comes to love at all. So I don't know if I will follow through with that, but I think it is a very well-crafted song. I can definitely give it that. Track number 8 is Call Your Girlfriend. I have heard this song. It is lovely. I'm pretty sure I've seen a lip sync of it, and I think that was also iconic. But yeah, this song, I heard the song without knowing it was Robyn originally. I think I heard this song even before dancing on my own. But let's hear it in the context of the album. I think we warmed up in my dance class with this song. Might not make sense right now, but you're still her friend. So different when we kiss. Oh, he just fully cheated. Damn. Just met somebody new. It's gonna be me and you. Okay. They'll hang with each other. So it's Call Your Girlfriend. Spectacular, well-produced song. I didn't realize that they fully cheated. Okay. He fully kissed Robyn when he had a girlfriend. Okay. All right then. This song feels like the female version of Jesse McCartney's Leavin'. I don't know if that's a deep cut for some of y'all, but that was part of my childhood. I grew up on Disney. So Leavin' being, if you got a man, why don't you tell him now I'm leaving, never come back again. Found somebody who does it better than he can. The idea of leaving your partner for the singer in this song. And I think it's a well done, well crafted song. Do I support the sentiment of just, going out and making out with someone when you are fully committed to someone else? No, not at all. But that doesn't take away from the song just being a good pop banger. Other than the fact that they kissed, it seems like she is trying to have him let down his girlfriend in a nice, easy way of saying, oh, that he'll still be her friend and that it's not her fault, that there's nothing to blame. She's not saying that she's better than his girlfriend. She is just saying that she's better for him than his girlfriend, but that's not something that she could control by any means. That is just a compatibility type thing. And that's probably as polite as you can be when you are seeing someone who is in a relationship otherwise. But yeah, I don't necessarily support every part of the song lyrically, but sonically it is a bop. I'm still going to definitely listen to it because it is just a good vibe. And I think it definitely continues how we see choruses and verses kind of flow into each other. It doesn't seem like there are big differences in the chorus and verses sonically, and I think it makes it feel like the song can just loop over and over, and you don't know how long the song's going for. A lot of these songs are in the 4-minute mark-ish, so a bit longer than 2024 pop songs generally are. But the production is captivating enough to just hold your attention and just let you vibe through it, and you could have it play twice and you wouldn't even fully notice. You might be like, this is really long, but it's also nice because of how consistent the song is throughout it. You're not worried about missing your favorite part in a song by like talking to someone at the club or going to the restroom real quick. You still have the ability to enjoy a part. So yeah, I've been liking a lot of songs that kind of have the vibe that they can kind of keep going on and on for a while. I've really been enjoying that. It Girl, for example, from Aaliyah's Interlude, a lot of her songs feel like they could be like that. And I think that is just fun. And that vibe contributes to the whole, like, let's party, let's have fun, let's dance vibe that I think this type of music really is going for. Track number 9 is None of Them featuring Röyksopp. I'm not familiar with the artist, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Ooh. I feel like we are a little bit underwater right now. I'm not impressed. Okay. Tell them. None of them make me feel anything. None of them do it like I can. None of these beats ever break the law. Are there beats that do? Ooh, there's some interesting sonic choices happening right now I like. So that was None of Them. I assume the featured artist, whose name I cannot pronounce, is a producer, so we did not hear them in this song. But I like their sonic choices, so great job for that. This is an interesting song. It seems like it's about kind of an off night at the club. When you go out and, you know, you may be looking for some cuties, you may be looking for some dance partners, whether they're platonic, romantic, or whatever. You go in there and the music's off, the drinks are expensive and not tasty, the people around you are maybe in their own cliques. It might be dead in there, it might be packed, but just the vibes just generally are not working. Nothing is aligned, and you're like, none of this is impressive. None of these people have any style. None of this is working for me. I want to go far away from here. And I think everyone has that, and sometimes it could be just the vibes are just fully off, and sometimes it might be that your vibes are just not aligning with what the vibes are giving there that night. So I think it's interesting to create a song that is kind of inspired by a night when these vibes are off, when the song is actually really interesting. I think it is one of the more experimental tracks on this list. It's a little less safe. I think it is still fun. I think it's still definitely danceable. And I think I now have a good song to play when I go out one night and I'm just not feeling it. I don't end up having the time that I really want to have. I think this paired with the Call Your Girlfriend, I think we started to see a bit of Robyn feeling a little more empowered and a little more strong and independent and, you know, asserting herself a lot more than some of the early tracks where she was just dancing on her own, or she had to pretend like she hadn't been hurt before. You know, she was in some of these more vulnerable positions, and she has not been vulnerable in these past couple of tracks. And I think it's interesting to have, you know, your different moods. Are you girl bossing, or are you having a sad girl fall? Sometimes you can have both. And so I think she's going through both. And I think that makes her much more complex. And I think that is creating a little bit more of a relatable character, where you have your moments where you feel like you're on top, and you have your moments where you feel like you're at a low point. So yeah, I'm excited to see how these trends continue on to track number 10, We Dance to the Beat. Oh, I guess we do dance to the beat. This repetition kind of feels like the Don't Tell Me What to Do song. Okay, vocoder. Ooh, the continent's shifting under our feet. Let's go, anti-Pangea. Ooh, radioactivity blocking the exits. Oh, are we getting like climb anxious? Distorted knowledge. Okay, we're getting interesting and philosophical. Raw talent wasted. Gosh darn. Oh, that syncopation there. So as we dance to the beat, and that felt like kind of like mixing up the dance experimentation with like new age vibes, where we're just thinking about the world and the age of Aquarius and the vibes of just seeing what is going on in the world and hearing what's going on in the world and living lives, whether it's your best life, your worst life, just your mundane life, and you're dancing still. I think it's definitely a lot broader in scope. We're thinking about, you know, tectonic plates moving. We're talking about bad kissers clinking their teeth. We are thinking about the rush of endorphins. We're thinking about so much. I'm sure there's so much I couldn't understand because a lot of the parts that weren't We Dance to the Beat were a bit harder to hear. But yeah, it's definitely thinking a bit existential. It definitely is a little more of a dancing meditation rather than a song that you're necessarily screaming along to in the club. It's not really that vibe. And I like that she's giving versatility. I can see why this song is the least streamed of any song on the whole album. I just think it's not one that you're going to necessarily click on. I think it continues the vibes of the album and continues the dancing spree, but it's not something that you're playing as much in isolation. I do think it gives its philosophical moment. I think it does give us our moment to reflect in a meditative dance of sorts. And I think it shows her not afraid to change things up. It doesn't have to be something with extremely danceable production and extremely screamable lyrics. It can be something that is a little more alternative in it. And I think she threads the needle well on it. Is it a song that I'm going to probably listen to on its own? Probably not. I could maybe see myself listening to it within the context of the album again, but again, it's a little more thinking, a little more up in the head rather than in the body. Track number 11 is You Should Know Better, featuring a Snoop Dogg. Okay, Snoop. This BPM is up there. I love how she does those lines. True. Oh, break it down. I think this is just gonna straight on the playlist. If you knew better, you would do better. So that was You Should Know Better, and that was a fun song. It is like a diss track to anyone who should know better than to mess with them. I didn't know it would repeat and have anecdotes, but when I heard even the French know better than me, I was like, okay, that's such a random thing. And then we realized it's also the Vatican, it's also the CIA, it's also the Russians, it's everyone, the industry. And I think Snoop Dogg is matching her unserious energy here. She was like, she was at Watergate. Did she say that? Why? Like, I love it, but why? I think this is just a fun anthem, and I could see myself playing this a lot. Like, a lot. I think it has the serious tinge of if you knew better, you would do better. If you really had learned your lesson, you will act accordingly rather than mess around and get in their not so good graces. Yeah, I vibe with the song heavily. I think it's fun. It doesn't even feel that retro. It feels retro in that Snoop Dogg has a feature on a song and that he's talking about Obama in the White House a little bit. I think those are the main things that date it a little bit. But otherwise, I'm having a great time here in 2024 listening to this song, for sure. Track number 12 is Dancehall Queen. Oh, starting a little slower than I'd expect. But it sounds like a satellite. Why does this feel like techno reggae? I really don't want no hassle. You should know better than to mess with her. I came to dance, not to socialize. Oh, that's fun. I really don't want no hassle. So that was Dancehall Queen. Can someone tell me what genre this is? It feels like a mix of techno and reggae. It feels like I would combine those to make like techno brega, like we've talked about with Batidão Tropical from Pablo Vittar. But it's not the same feeling. It's especially a little slower and definitely a little more isolated and definitely very synthetic. So I am very curious what that is. I would love to hear other songs that sound like that because I think this is a new feeling I've encountered in a song. I'm still figuring out whether or not I like it, but this song is in the same vein of You Should Know Better in terms of how unserious it is. She is saying, once I get in here, I'm just going to do my thing like a dancehall queen. I really don't want to hassle. I came here to dance. I didn't come here to socialize. I am here just doing my thing. I'm going to drop it low. I'm going to do all those things that I know how to do. All the jaws are on the floor. I am the main character, fully. And I think it's a fun sentiment. Is it a song that I'm going to turn to as much? I don't know, because I've never heard a song quite like this. So, yeah, new feelings, and I'm going to have to sit with them a little bit before I make that decision. Track number 13 is Get Myself Together. Ooh, this is fun. Things has been building up, it's gonna blow. Where? Pick up the pieces and move on, and nothing else fits. This does feel like a 2000s throwback a bit, in a great way. I wish something could be done. She's in that stuck point again. Ooh, I like how he stuck it on and gone. So that was Get Myself Together, and that feels like the pop mainstream version of the Don't Tell Me What to Do. In terms of the I'm stuck in this rut, there are certain issues, there are stressors at play. But this is her talking to her family. They're not killing her right now. And she is realizing she has to pick up the pieces, move on. Not all the pieces are going to fit. I think that was a really good wordplay, is that when not everything fits, you just got to pick up the pieces and move on. And I think that's a good life lesson. But she is in a transitional stage in her life. And she is trying to figure out who she is and how she is going to exist for now and in the future. And yeah, I think this is the song just kind of going through that. You know, she's got to get her mind set on what she wants out of her life. I like the message because I think it's a little more universal than just a romantic relationship. I don't know if there's pieces of that. I didn't get all the nuances on my first listen. But I also feel like you could apply it towards where you're going to live next, where you're going to work next, what you want your life to be. Are you getting a bunch of cats? Are you going to have dogs? What is your vibe? Are you living in a New York City apartment, or are you going to live on a goat farm in Iceland? You got to figure out what you want, and you got to move forward at your pace. But she is trying to figure out how she is going to go and do that, which I feel for her on that one. I've been there. I am there. And we'll see where we are soon enough. Track number 14 is In My Eyes. Ooh, I like this production. Feels blue. It's gonna be okay. True. We all fall apart and make mistakes. Oh, we are continuing the Get Myself Together vibe. Just look into my eyes and all your dreams will come true. Oh, this is more a relationship. A little boy and I'm a little girl. Tomorrow I'm still your friend. Oh, we are in this together. Little star, I got you. And that was some interesting distortion on her voice. That was In My Eyes, and that is a nice hype up, I got you, supportive vibe. whether it is a relationship. I don't know if it is. They said you're just a little boy and I'm a little girl, which gives that it could be a relationship, but it could just be a friend. Maybe it's a younger brother. I could see that of an older sister vibe. It gave the sentiment of we're in this together, we got each other, I got you. And I don't know if that really is a relationship. It is a relationship of sorts, whether it's a romantic / adult, mature, living together relationship, or if it's a familial friendship, whatever it is. I think it's a good vibe and I enjoyed it. I like the song. It doesn't blow me out of the water by any means. I feel like we've gotten a sense a bit about where Robyn tends to go production-wise. I don't think this one makes too many bold choices. I think some of the speaking parts are a little interesting in terms of how they're distorted. The little star, I got you, and all of that, I think is a little interesting. But I feel like otherwise it is pretty much just good pop, and I have no qualms about it. But it didn't have too many distinct factors that made it stand out from maybe other really good pop songs. It's still a good pop song though, and so I have no complaints about that. Track number 15, last track on this album, is Stars Forever. Oh, what instrument makes that? Or is that just synths again? Why does this feel like Kylie Minogue? Maybe a bit of muffling and a bit of the disco influence. I got you right next to me. Okay, we are continuing the support from the previous track. Oh, the timbre of her voice in this song specifically sounds like Carly. Oh, that drop. Great. So it's Stars Forever, and I felt like that was just a good chill outro of saying that we're stars forever together. And that, yeah, I don't know, just self-celebration and celebrating the people around you. I didn't get too much besides that, and I think that was just the main sentiment of the song. So I'm vibing. Much like In My Eyes, nothing too dramatic in the song, but not anything that makes me want to listen to it less. With that, we have finished this album, and I have to say, Robyn, you made a good album. I understand why it took so long for you to make a follow-up, because when you make something that is just so good, you don't really know how to continue on, or your label doesn't let you continue on the way you might want to. So I think there's some really cool tracks here. I really vibe with it. I like how versatile she is. A lot of comparisons I made here. We had Charli XCX's Brat. We had Carly Rae Jepsen. We had Madonna. We had Kylie Minogue. We have all these people who are legends, and I think probably arguably more mainstream maybe, or maybe more household names. But Robyn, I think she has shown that she's not just a dancing on my own person, and that she is more than just that, even just having that footnote in your life is pretty incredible. It's a really great song again. But I like exploring more of her music. I'm wondering if you guys want me to check out Honey as well, because this album was really cool. I just had a great time dancing. I just had a great time vibing and grooving, and I know when I turn that camera off, I'm just going to be vibing to this music more. I don't want this project to necessarily end, even though it's 15 songs, it's over an hour of music. So you might think one could get bored, and there are times where I'm like, okay, I didn't necessarily need to hear the chorus that many times, but I think overall, I like it. I think Robyn shows that she can do so much in it. And I know it's not her debut album by any means. I think she was killing this stuff since 1994. This is from 2010, I think. So it's well past the early part of her career, but she's been making hits. And I think we should check out not only the big singles, but also the deeper cuts, because I think they're interesting. I don't know too much about her. After listening to this project, it is very much a pop project in the realm of the you don't know what's going on in my life, and that's fine. But she is given this diva attitude on Dancehall Queen and You Should Know Better and the Don't Tell Me What to Do. But she also is going through the struggles also on Don't Tell Me What to Do, and some of these songs that are about love and the struggles with that. I think there's some interesting choices here. I think production-wise and lyrically, I think it is very interesting, especially for an artist like her who didn't speak English as a first language. I think she has a really great sense of internal rhyme schemes. She is often thinking in her head what will sound really good in a melody or in a cadence. And I really like that. For example, on Hang With Me, she had the recklessly, headlessly fall in love with me. Oh, it just sounded so good. And it sounded like someone who knows English as a first language. And I know that many Europeans often learn English really just as a second language as they fully grow up, especially in Scandinavia, because their languages only go so far for them. But she has a mastery that I wish a lot of people who know English as their first and only language really could. I think she knows how to communicate feelings in pop music really well in ways that are really, I think, admirable and remarkable. So, yeah, I really enjoyed this project. I think it was fun. I would love to know some of these producers because they are very talented as well. I assume Robyn helps or, directs a bit in the production process. It just feels like that to me. I feel like she is connected to your music in that way. But I do want to hear about everyone who made this project possible because I think they did some really great work here. Robyn is, I'm sure, already proud of herself for this. I'm sure all the people who worked on this are like, wow, we really did that. And yeah, you really did. With that said, here are some of my favorites. The top tier are the songs I love, the standouts from this project, the ones I'm going to be playing over and over again. Songs in the middle are songs I like, I'll add them to my playlist, but they may not be the top of the top. And songs at the bottom are just not really my thing. Doesn't mean it's a bad song. Doesn't mean it can't be your favorite song. Just means it's not for me. And that's okay. Robyn made this project for the culture and for anyone who just loves pop music. And I love pop music, so I don't expect to see much down there anyway. If you like this video, please like it, please comment down below to react to it next on my channel. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not already and you'd like to be. And thanks for watching. This is TurtleStormer. Catch you later.